Time to take a look at a new pistol to hit the markets. And it's not a Glock. It's the latest replica from the guys who seem to do these best. The guys from Umarex. It is the Smith & Wesson M&P 9 M2.0. Hello and welcome to AAR on Air. Today it's pistol time with the new Smith & Wesson M&P 9 or Military and Police 9 from Umarex. On this occasion there's no real history lesson because it's a replica of a pretty new gun. So let's go straight to the walk around first, shall we? It is all black with a polymer chassis or bottom and a metal top slide, which I believe is stainless steel on the original. It is closely matched to the 9mm original in layout, design and size. The markings are subtle and not overly garish or emblazoned across it in bold white lettering, as you sometimes find on some replica guns, which usually leaves me thinking of ways to remove them. It has a really nice curvaceous shaping to the slide with a cutout showing the 9mm origins. The sights are fixed, front and rear, with white dots to aid the sighting. The slide doesn't have excessive rattles like some of the replicas and has a nice positive feel to it and a good blowback action when in use. It also has the lock open after last shot, a feature I love on these pistols. Working down from the slide, we come to that all polymer body or chassis, and the first thing to point out is the safety. This one I really do like. You see, I know the Puritans would talk about the safety in the trigger, and that particular point is often mentioned on the Glocks. But a secondary safety is no bad thing, in my opinion, especially if someone has poor trigger discipline. And the one on the Glocks, as very effective as it is, does sometimes feel like an afterthought. This one, on the other hand, is on the right-hand side and is a push and lift for fire and push and drop for safe, showing the customary red dot in fire mode. I like it. It works. It's efficient and it feels like it should be there. It also fully locks the trigger, so no chance of firing the gun when in safe, even if you do have poor trigger discipline. On the opposite side, there are a further 3 catches. One is for the slide release after lock open. The second is a bit of a dummy item which would normally be used for field stripping, and sadly this isn't field strippable. The third is the mag release button on the heavily stippled grip, which does have replaceable rear grips available if you're looking for that perfect finger to trigger distance hold. This is easily removed by sliding up the internal catch all the way until the back comes away. Then refitting is simply dropping the next one in bottom first, making sure that it fits inside the grip mould, and push until it's solid. Once you've pressed that mag release, the magazine simply drops away and reveals the 18 round BB spring loaded holder and 12g CO2 slot. To load the BBs, simply pull down on the spring, lock into place at the bottom, which is a great idea that helps save the finger ends when loading all 18 rounds in through the top hole. Being picky, I prefer to slot them in a hole in the bottom of the mag, but sometimes space makes this impossible. to load from the bottom when they're trying to mimic the original's 17+1 rounds in the magazine. And to me, it's not a deal breaker, just an observation. Once all 18 are loaded, release the spring for tension. The next thing to do is to load the CO2. It's also pretty standard stuff. Once you've slid the bottom cover with all its official markings on out of the way. Again, I like this because it finishes off the overall look of the gun and tries to keep it close to the original firearm. Using the hex key provided, tighten the 12 grams CO2 once you've slotted it in place. Return the bottom cover back into place, which does take a little effort. Return the mag to the pistol, pushing it home until you hear that satisfactory click. And you're good to go. The trigger has that safety element built in and does have quite a lot of travel with a final heavy pull to it. Under the front is a nice rail system that is crying out for a nice laser to be fitted. Power levels then? Well, they claim very sensibly less than 3 joules of energy, which doesn't help anyone much. So what does this one actually produce? Over to the chrono using 5.37 grain steel BBs. It saw just under 400 feet per second at 398, which equates to 1.89 foot-pounds or 2.56 joules. And to be fair, around 400 feet per second is more than enough for a spot of plinking and 10-metre target work. Talking of which, let's get this out in front of some paper targets and see what it can do. Here goes. Not bad at all really with my eyesight. I was quite pleased with that. It does have a tendency to shoot a little low, and non-adjustable sights never help, but putting a laser on this would instantly cure that and is bound to bring that tighter grouping and of course add to the overall look and experience. Now, I know that everyone out there is now asking, is it better than the Glock 17 Gen 4? And at this point, opinions and personal preferences come into play. But here goes. It is slightly smaller and a little lighter than the Glock due to the traditional design CO2 magazine, as opposed to the Glock's heavy metal magazine. To me, it is slightly more comfortable to hold, and the fit is slightly better. I prefer the more curvaceous shape and the more usable rail on the underside. The M&P 9 shoots a little low, but then again the Glock shoots to the right. Both are curable with external sighting aids. I do, however, prefer the Glock for its field stripping ability and the heavier sound of that slide. The safety is better on the M&P 9, which I suppose leaves the price. The M&P 9 retails out at around £150 UK, and the Glock will set you back around £190 UK. The difference may be enough to make the decision for you, and does provide quite a few CO2s and BBs. Final decision, though, is up to you. Me? I'd have both of them. That's it. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If so, please, the usual thumbs up is really appreciated. Whilst you're here, subscribe, hit the old alarm bell to be notified of new releases. Don't forget you can spend the rest of your day visiting this lot. There is so much going off. A big thank you to the guys at Vector Air for letting me loose in their stock cupboards, which I intend to keep doing. After talking to the guys there is some really exciting stuff on the way. I am, however, sworn to secrecy at the moment, though. But you really won't want to miss some of the new stuff that is coming. For now, that's me done. So, until next week, stay safe, shoot safe, and thank you so much for watching.